You know, you're starting with so many assumptions that are, I've never had a subpoena. There is not, again, let's take a deep breath here. Everything I did was permitted by law and regulation. I had one device. When I mailed anybody in the government, it would go into the government system. Now, I didn't have to turn over anything. I chose to turn over 55,000 pages because I wanted to go above and beyond what was expected of me.
Oh, my goodness. All right, Tom Fitton, president of Judicial Watch, author of the New York Times bestseller, The Corruption Chronicles, and the executive producer of the documentary District of Corruption, joins us. Hello, Tom.
Hey, Steve. Good to be with you again.
Good to talk to you. Okay, let's start first with this this nonsense about she never got a subpoena.
Well, she did get subpoenas, and she also got document requests, which also require her to respond under the law and not mislead Congress when Congress is requesting documents through the agency. So she did get a subpoena personally from the Benghazi subcommittee, the Benghazi Select Committee. We don't know when she deleted records or when she supposedly refused to produce records. She's still refusing to produce records to that committee. And then when she was in the Secretary of State's office, she was getting document requests. I guarantee you there are subpoenas that were sent to her office as a secretary, that she avoided. And so the law required her to respond and to look at those documents and to respond after looking at those documents with responsive material. But she didn't do that. She didn't do that while she was a Secretary of State, in the position of Secretary of State, and she obviously has yet to do it, in our view, at all.
All right, let's move on to some of the latest smoking gun documents that Judicial Watch now has on Hillary. You announced the other day that there's newly revealed testimony from the Obama State Department under court order that directly ties Hillary for the first time to the debunked Benghazi protest theory of the talking points. How so?
Yeah, back in 2012, just before the election, they put out, after the attacks, some talking points, some Benghazi talking points that were used by Susan Rice and others to tell a big lie to the American people that the attack was a result of a spontaneous demonstration in response to an obscure internet video. And in fact, it was a well-planned, well-coordinated terrorist attack. They knew that from the get-go, yet I think they chose to lie. And Susan Rice said this was based on intelligence, and there's no evidence of that. But we found last year that the White House was involved in these talking points, and just the other day, the State Department admitted to us they had an email where the Benghazi talking point shows up in an email to Mrs. Clinton. And it says, it's the Benghazi talking points. They said it was talking points. They had found it before, but they didn't think it was related to our request. I don't know, we asked about talking points, and they somehow figured that that wasn't related. But they subsequently got some more emails from other officials who had also these special separate email accounts that Hillary says were just par for the course. And so they admitted they had that material. Guess what? They don't want to turn over any of it to us, and they're citing this deliberative process privilege because evidently, figuring out what to do in response to the public response to their big lies using Benghazi, using these talking points, is a privileged communication internally in the government.
All right, well, what exactly, Tom, does the email show? You say an email to Hillary Clinton regarding mentioning the talking points. Does it show that she had a role in this? Did it show that she knew these talking points were not right, not true? What did it say?
Well, that's the big mystery, because the Obama administration and the State Department are withholding in their entirety this email chain. So what Hillary was told about the talking points, what she may have responded, which may reflect what she knew about the talking points, and what to do next, all of that is not being disclosed by the Obama administration. Now, this privilege they're using to keep that record secret, there's nothing requiring them to assert it. They can release this if they decide to. We'll have to go to the court to fight over this potentially, but there's nothing preventing them from releasing this material in their discretion, but they evidently think that it might chill the frank deliberations that occur when senior staff are preparing points or other draft remarks for use by senior department officials in addressing a matter of public controversy. So they don't want to talk about the cover-up because that might prevent future cover-ups. That's how I interpret that.
That's a great way of looking at it. What's the latest on anything new on Lois Lerner?
Well, there's always something new on Lois Lerner. The government found 1,400 plus new Lois Lerner emails. Remember those emails that were deleted and weren't recoverable,
Yeah.
weren't on backup tapes? Well, they weren't deleted, they were recoverable, and they were on backup tapes. And we've been fighting the administration to get access to those new emails. They wouldn't tell us when they're going to give them to us. Finally, there was a court hearing last week, and Judge Emmett Sullivan ordered the IRS to start turning over those emails once a week every Monday. Guess what? Monday came and went, no emails. So the soonest we're going to get them now is Wednesday of next week, 2 weeks after the judge said to turn them over once a week every Monday.
Do they get penalized for not handing them over on time?
I don't know. They think the court order doesn't apply to them, evidently. I don't understand why they would take that risk with the federal court judge, but then again, they've been obstructing the court from the get-go on this Lois Lerner issue. But the other emails that we have on Lois Lerner are astonishing, the ones that have been released, because they detail they provide an exhaustive account of a meeting that Lois Lerner and other IRS folks had with the Department of Justice about the idea of prosecuting the same groups that evidently she was suppressing. So it wasn't just the IRS, stalling Tea Party applications. It was the Justice Department and the FBI talking about prosecuting these very groups.
This is Nixonian in its stature, and and shame on the media. And God bless your group, sir. We'll speak to you soon. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Steve.
All right, take care. All right, David Horowitz of the David Horowitz Freedom Center is next, folks. Don't go away. He's coming up on the Steve Malzberg Show on Newsmax Television.